Here's how you can use RhythmBot to help you master that super drunken half-swung eighth note beat that we associate with people like Jay Dilla and Chris Dave. It sounds like this. Right, so where we're headed is setting up RhythmBot to basically act as a metronome that is half swung in that way. This is different from the half swung 16th note groove that we did in previous lessons. Like this is what that was. In that type of groove, you're half swinging at the 16th note rate. We need a half swing now, but with the 16th note rate, the eighth notes are perfectly in time. Now, what we need to do for this feel is half swing the eighth notes. Right, so we're not half swinging 16 notes. We take the eighth notes out. These need to half swing, which means that middle eighth note needs to be back a little bit. Now, RhythmBot can help us do this. When this is a particularly challenging thing to find resources for that can help you learn how to do it. Basically, it's going to start doing this for us. Okay, we can hear it. Here's the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. All of the ands are a little late. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and they're a little late, but they're not all the way so that they're swung on the triplet grid. Let's look at how to set this up. The main thing, we go to our settings, top left. We have to go to subdivision and select eighth notes. Because remember, our eighth notes are the things we need to half swing. So we are half swinging eighth notes. Subdivision actually means that it's only going to give us eighth note melodies, which is actually all we can handle with this type of stuff. Thinking about 16th note melodies while half swinging the eighth notes causes kind of like the hard drive to crash because it technically doesn't mathematically make sense at all. If you want to dive deep into that and sort of solve that equation, if you will, there's a course on my website, jpbouvetmethod.com, called Swanky Half-Swung Grooves, the Swanky Half-Swung Grooves Course, where we go really step-by-step in depth. We don't have to think about it right now. The point is, we need a half-swung metronome at the eighth note half-swing level. So here we are. Now we've got we want to pull our groove, our sound, change the groove settings. I'm going to turn the backbeat off. So it's just going to give me a hi-hat. Cha, 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 cha. I just want a hi-hat playing half swung and nothing else going on. But I still have all these kick drums that are going to play. No, I don't want those. So the hack is to go to complexity, custom groupings, only select the quarter note rest, confirm, and now you have nothing. Now you have a half swung eighth note. Ta, 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 ta. If you want to put a backbeat in, you can. 1 and 2 and 3. Killing. Now you can adjust the swing. If I go all the way swing, just for perspective here, perfect triplets now. 3 and 4 and all the way not swung, and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and somewhere in the middle, and you'll have to find the sweet spot. With this kind of thing, I'd say, never really thought about it, but between 40 and 70. It's a lot of room there, but around 40, you're like really close to swung, right? Really close to straight. I think I said the opposite. And around 70, 80, you're two swung at 80. At 70, anyway, so that's how you can set this up to be essentially a half swung eighth note half swung metronome. But you can go one step further and you can practice beats with this, right? So this isn't the whole story with this type of groove, because you want to explore the space outside of the eighth notes in a very sort of mushy, impossible to quantify way that, again, I cover in my course. But if I want, I can go back to, I can actually do it from here. I can go groove settings. Oh, sorry, I don't need groove settings. I need settings, complexity, custom groupings, and I'll just keep all of them now. And now when I go play, I get actual grooves, right? So if I make this just one bar, let's keep it kind of simple here. What do I have? Cat, boom, cat, boom, boom, cat. Now the kick drums are also half swung. See, I think this is not, it's two swung. Bring it back to 54, but boom, that's going to be nice. Okay, nice. Now I'm practicing stuff. So forth. I can have it play for me, and I can, if I want, put 2 bars, and I can go sight reading or reading mode on, and now I can read infinite rhythms and practice my sight reading while I practice my half swung Dilla beats, while I practice whatever else. 2, 3. Right, so the limitation here, just for those who are interested, is that this will place every note on that half swung grid. But one of the other strategies, if you will, for creating this type of drunken groove is to make things not line up, but in a very specific way. So you're noticing that when I start to mess around, I'm actually putting kick drums like before this hi-hat. It's like a very wide flam almost. You can think of it like the kick drum is actually still on the perfect 8th note grid. And the right hand is the one that's late. Right? So now things are no longer aligning in interesting ways. And then on the other end of that 8th note, I can put that kick drum really close to the backbeat. Closer than a 16th note, but it's not really any other quantifiable note. So these are the types of things that I actually cover in the course. But regardless of that, this is an incredible tool for getting the basic feel down. All right, happy practicing. See you in the next lesson.